Hey guys, and welcome to Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023, and we are your casters for tonight. My name is
And
James.
my name is MG. Let's go!
Yes, let's go indeed. This is the Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. It's been a while since we last
Yeah.
finished season 1 of
Yep.
Ragnarok Asia Masters, and I'm so hyped up for season 2 or Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. How are you feeling right now, MG?
Well, first of all, I'm very excited, and again, thank you so much for again being here. I actually saw the list, the names of the guilds that who participated on the for the season 2. I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
seeing familiar names or guilds
Oh.
on this one, and I'm seeing new guilds as well trying
Mm.
out for the season 2. So I'm pretty excited. Are we gonna see the same meta, or are they gonna improve those metas in and are they gonna bring another type of classes on the table for our season 2? So I'm just kind of excited on those things. So yeah.
Yes, and the teams we have right now, we are really excited to check out how or what they will bring us for this first day of
Yes.
Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. And wow, I'm just so excited to see how these teams or how our teams from GGH and GGL will perform in this Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023 because season 1 it was kind of GGH really had a hard time because it was their
Yes.
first season doing 7 versus 7. But here in season 2, let's see if they improved and they can be a little bit better when it comes to fights right here.
Yes, and at the same time, the best thing about having the season 2, you have those
Mm-hmm.
season 1 videos that you can actually review and check.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually practice those lineups as well, right? Before season, I mean, on season 1, I think one of the reasons why they're having a hard time on trying to build the class
Mm-hmm.
lineup for them is because they don't have any basis on how to play the 7v7 before. I believe there are a few guilds from the GGH who's very um well they know how to mix and match the classes because they played it before on other tournaments. But for the new guilds who just participated on the season 1, most
Mm-hmm.
of them are just trying to test the waters technically. But right now,
Yes,
season
and
two, yeah, they're gonna do something new, and maybe we're gonna see some familiar styles and metas. Definitely.
yes, actually, what's different now about season 2 is that the teams had the chance or had time to practice before the actual match or the actual tournament, Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. Compared to how season 1 was, the teams weren't able to practice that much, or
Mm-hmm.
they weren't able to practice. So for the GGH teams who are kind of new to 7 versus 7, they basically just got thrown to the sharks,
Yeah. There you go.
right? So they just got thrown right there. But yeah, season 2 is going to be different. That's why I'm so excited on how to see these teams perform for Ragnarok Asia Masters season 2. And yes, actually, MG, let's announce who will be participating for this day 1 of Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023.
Yes. Okay. For our first match for today's lineup is for first match is gonna be KFC versus Unlock. The second match is gonna be Mad Royals versus Four Leaf Clover, and our
Mm-hmm.
third match is gonna be Armor Fatty and Dignity. And for our
Mm-hmm.
last match for today, it's gonna be Vengeance versus Integrate. So yeah.
Yes, and one familiar name that we saw last
Mm-hmm.
season is Dignity.
Yes.
Actually, kind of interested if they're going to change their setup. If they're still still the same team
Yes.
participating for tonight. So I'm really excited to see how they change up their plays on how they change up their meta for Ragnarok Age Masters 2023. But yeah, MG, I'm just so excited, so hyped up to see these teams play these set of rounds up. All
Yes.
right.
Yep.
Yes, and for our viewers right here, please do share our stream since this is day 1 of the Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. It's going to be so hyped up
Yes.
because we're all ready to see the amazing performance of these teams. MG, what do you think?
Yes. To be honest, I want to see. I really miss the 1-2 connection about on the Sura and the mechanic.
Oh.
I think 70% of the teams wave on season one, they're actually using the 1-2 combo, the Sura mechanic, the Crucicle Suicidal Destruction combo, technically, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that we're gonna see more of those still on season two, but again, we have one of those guilds who doesn't use Suras on the season
Mm-hmm.
one. I think you mentioned that guild earlier, and I'm not sure if they're gonna stick with that lineup or are they gonna go for the more aggressive, which is the Sura and mechanic. So I'm
Well,
excited to
let's
see that
see.
match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And hello to everyone in the chat. Ooh, we already have a hashtag right here for GGH. Hashtag GGH number one right here, coming from our friends from GGH. For
Hala.
there's Go
Yes.
KFC. Let's go GGL. Oh, GG. Oh, he corrected that. He's a GGH. Okay. Go Mad Royals. Let's go, said Slick Gaming. Nice Ram ST, said Just Tony. Mad Royals for the win. Oh, I think all of these teams are really, or no, just cheer for your favorite teams, basically,
Yes.
for tonight, all right? If you're viewing, of course, I want you all guys to enjoy what the teams have in store for us all for tonight.
Yes, and majority of the comments here is going on the side of KFC.
Oh,
Let's
KFC.
go, KFC.
Maybe because the team name sounds a little bit familiar.
Yeah,
Don't you
yeah,
think so?
yeah.
Yeah. And what's the team name of KFC mean actually?
Is there a like a meaning of?
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
maybe there's a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
meaning of that acronym.
yeah.
Yeah, that we just don't know. But anyway, MG, we talked this about before.
Yeah.
If you're going to be participating in a 7 versus 7, what class will you be using?
um, like I think way back on season one, I
Mm-hmm.
chose the Shadow Chaser because it's because of the pressure that he brings in the table, like the pressure,
Mm-hmm.
the impact of his skills when he has that close gap scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on this one, I really want to see like Ranger, Ranger or Mechanic. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So,
How about you?
wow. I just saw the emblem of team KFC.
Oh.
All right. So, I kind of like their emblem right here. But
Yes.
anyway, um, yeah, actually, it's going to be unlock on the left and KFC on the right. So,
Oh, okay. Okay, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, though, MG, to familiarize with everything, this is going to be Ragnarok Asia Masters is a 7 versus 7 tournament, wherein these teams are going to be battling each other out. Either you wipe the opposing team, or when the timer runs out, the team with more players will be winning that round.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yes. Okay. So we have some comments right here. Indonesia said Fauzi. Philippines number one. All right. KFC win maybe. Uh, Share to GGL. I think GGL already shared the stream, but yeah, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Just cheer for your favorite teams right now, since we do have a lot of teams participating, or we have a total of 8 teams participating for tonight. So a total of 4 matches for tonight, MG.
Yes.
And we did mention that um, we're anticipating for this team that we've seen in season one. And this is going to be kind of different for GGH because I'm pretty sure they're pretty much prepared for this one.
Yes. I think they have enough time to prepare for everything, like the lineups, the build itself, and some of the execution as well, since they have that I think they have like more than a week to prepare for this. If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yes, and the preparation time for these teams, it's no joke because we all know that preparation is already part of the battle, right? Preparation is part of the battle, so that's why these teams are preparing themselves for this Ragnarok Age of Masters season 2. And let's see how the first set of matches will go as these teams are now in the waiting room. Of course, we have a buying phase for them to set their or characters up to set their potions and everything for their final buying phase. Then we head on to the waiting phase. We still have a minute to push up their buffs and everything before we actually start the match. So here for Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023, we have a set, or the teams will only be playing in one map for the eliminations. So we're just going to be playing in map number 2, which is the ice map. Let's actually transition to the game screen right now so we can show our viewers right here. All right. Okay, let's go. So we are going to be playing in this map. As you can see, KFC versus Unlock.
Yes. Ooh. Okay.
I'm kind of looking forward. You see the emblem of KFC right there?
Yeah.
It's
yeah, the classic KFC logo. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So, can you tell us more about the lineup of KFC right here, MG?
Yes. Okay. So for the lineup of KFC, guys, as we know, we have the 5 base or core classes that we have for this tournament. So the one that they have right now is, first they have the Sork, they have the Minstrel, they have the Archbishop, they have the Royal Guard, and they have their Sura. And their 2 wild classes right now is the Shadow Chaser and the Rune Knight. Ooh, aggressive long range pressure.
Yes, actually for the Rune Knight, we've seen this lineup a lot of times before, wherein the Rune Knight just makes sure that control the enemies with his DPS and massive damage that he can actually provide or deal to their opponents.
Yeah.
But yeah, having a Rune Knight in your lineup makes it a little bit more aggressive when it comes to your play. And for the side here of Unlock, we actually have our favorite mechanic for the lineup of Unlock right here, and we have a Ranger in their lineup. So this is going to be exciting to see how they will they will play with that Ranger in their lineup right here. They don't have a Shadow Chaser in their lineup compared to Team KFC right here. So when it comes to the aggressiveness, I think I'm going to give the lineup or the aggressive lineup to Team Unlock right here, since they do have more of a glass cannon build compared to KFC, which is a well-rounded lineup.
Yes.
You can say.
Yes, but for me, I think KFC can pull this off. Again, they have more control on the long range pressure as long as there's no an immediate dive coming from on the side of Unlock. But again, it still can go on the Unlock side or KFC side. So it's all about the execution in this one. So maybe, yeah. But again, I'm gonna go for KFC. You go for Unlock. Let's go.
Well, we all know how annoying a Shadow Chaser can be when it comes to fights. If the Shadow Chaser of KFC really shines here in in this matchup, this can be a little bit different here for the side of KFC, since they can actually deal a lot of debuffs to their opponents with that Masquerade, and just disabling their opponents when it comes to fight. And for the side of Unlock, like I said a while ago, they have a little bit of more of a glass cannon build, since they do have that Ranger, they do have that mechanic, and when they pop off and when they execute it that well, it's going to be game over for KFC.
Yes, I agree on that one. It's a matter of like setting the tempo on the side of Unlock. The moment that they manage to connect their Suicidal Destruction immediately to 1 or 2 core players of KFC, I think KFC is gonna have a hard time on what do you call this, on pushing or going back on the match. But again, KFC has the Rune Knight. It means zoning out or having that a long range pressure, preventing your enemies to close the gap on your side is gonna be really hard since they have the Rune Knight. And of course, once they have the Shadow Chaser manage to connect to those Archbishops, Minstrel, or even on the Sura, that's gonna be a huge problem coming from Unlock.
Yes, and to deal with that problem, let's see how Unlock will actually do this. For now, MG, can we quickly check our settings to make sure our viewers hear something in game?
Yep.
Let's see right now. Okay, so quick check. Ooh. No, I don't think we need the BGM right here. Just put on the in-game sound right there. Okay, let's go. So our viewers can hear something or
There
what's
you go.
happening in game. Okay, the timer is set. Teams are getting ready for this match. Again, this is going to be something to look forward to. KFC right now just making sure they have space to actually move around in this map.
Yep.
At the same time, Unlock is actually at the bottom side while KFC is at a hill right here.
Yes. I think this is the thing that they need to do on the side of KFC. They need to prioritize on having a distant location for versus on their enemies, because again, they have their Rune Knight, they have those Dragon's Breath off and running, plus of course the Sorcerer can actually dish out good damage there. So I think they need to play patiently on this one and let Unlock be go to their side so they can actually punish them.
Yes, just let Unlock. Just let Unlock do the aggressiveness right
exactly,
here.
yeah.
As KFC waits it out on top of the hill. Let's see who actually goes to that choke point. The both teams are just waiting it out. We have 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left on the clock right here. Unlock is just preparing themselves to go in. As you can see, they are actually moving that Magnetic Earth Land Protector closer to KFC right here. Magnetic Earth. It'll almost connect. Sura just going in. KFC just holding back, making sure to stand back a little bit. Shadow Chaser just making sure to actually disable some limit for most
Dragon's Breath.
Will
Here we
go
go.
off coming from Unlock right here, and you can see KFC lost a few members, but that Shadow Chaser will just go there and try to deal
Dragon's
some
Breath.
debuffs against Unlock right here, while Unlock still has that Sura casting that Gates of Hell to deal damage to KFC,
we go.
while KFC is a little bit disabled right
Oh.
here to do something, and as you can see, Unlock will just try and space out to make sure that Dragon's Breath doesn't deal that much damage to their side right here. KFC still has that Rune Knight. Rune Knight is low on health right here, but that Rune Knight is the only one left around for KFC.
Yes, that's actually a good round coming from Unlock. But on the first side or first few minutes, I think KFC is on the run, on the lead on that one. But apparently, Unlock managed to unlock their potential on pushing the back lane there, wiping that mechanic earlier on the side of Unlock is wiping everyone at the back lane using that high-speed cart ram, I believe, at the back and hitting 2 core members down immediately. So that's actually a good pressure coming from Unlock, and yes, a good win from them.
Yes, actually that opening of Unlock using that mechanic, utilizing that suicidal destruction coming from that mechanic made wonders for Unlock right there. Just opening the floor with that suicidal destruction, I think taking down 2 members of KFC. Then KFC scattered a little bit right there since KFC were all the team, they were just in this one spot.
Yeah.
That made it possible for that suicidal destruction to land that damage against KFC. But luckily for KFC right there, not their whole team didn't get wiped out
Yes.
by that suicidal destruction. Although it was kind of fortunate for KFC because they got stuck in that moment, the aggressiveness of Unlock showed right there. and they managed to take that victory with that suicidal destruction plus that ranger just dealing damage, and they have three damage class right here. They have that suicidal destruction, that mechanic. They have that ranger to deal more DPS, and that they have that sura just casting gates of hell. But they took a little bit of time to take down that rune knight, and I believe that shadow or the shadow chaser of KFC managed to deal something to unlock right there while they were um, just attacking each other at that moment. So yeah, props to unlock right there for actually utilizing their aggressiveness in their lineup in that
Yes.
round.
Yes. The lineup of, like you mentioned earlier, James, Luck has a very aggressive lineup. Again, if just in case like the suicidal destruction failed, they still have the Sura at the same time the Ranger to punish the enemies. And definitely, I think on the side of KFC, they're very focused on the suicidal destruction on their side versus protecting their entire party on the Ranger side. So the moment that the suicidal destruction connected, the Ranger is up and running and dealing damage immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Well,
yeah.
yeah, that's what you get for having a lot of DPS units or classes in your lineup. Compared to the well-rounded lineup of Unlock, or KFC rather, they played a little bit more safe at that time. Again, they didn't really. You can say they didn't really use their aggressiveness or their potential for their classes at that match. So that made it a little bit harder for KFC to actually, try and get things started. And I believe their Shadow Chaser just went ahead,
Yes.
and basically the mechanic of Unlock and the Shadow Chaser of KFC kind of switched places right there. The
Yeah.
mechanic of
Yeah.
Unlock knew that the Shadow Chaser is not near the team or not near the squad. It's just scouting ahead. It's just there in the stack of Unlock, so he can be saved that that masquerade won't be casted on that mechanic.
Yes.
So yeah, Unlock just utilize their aggressiveness to its potential at that round. So let's see right now here in round number two what will happen. Of course, these teams can change their lineups during the buying phase. They just need to inform the GM's handling a match. So let's see if KFC will be changing their lineup or will they stick to their more well-rounded lineup for round number two.
Yes, and I just want to point out earlier that the Ranger on the side of Unlock is really, uh, he positioned his character super good, wherein I think KFC is having a hard time to find him. That Ranger earlier is maximizing the range that he got, casting that Arrow Storm, those skills without getting hit. So technically, the Ranger is just free hitting everyone, causing damage immediately. Then again, the mechanic as well. Despite of having no mecha on that one, he managed to punish like two players immediately. So that's a good push from Unlock. And
Yes.
yes, and on the KFC side, I think if they're gonna play like aggressive, they need to curse circle at least 3 to 4 players immediately in order for them to burst
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because if they're gonna
They need to
curse
disable.
yes, if they're gonna curse circle like 3 players, and one of those 3 players is not the core damager, that's gonna be bad for them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do think that curse circle doesn't really need to be a lot of players caught in that curse circle. You
Yeah.
just need to disable those key or core players that you mentioned for the opposing team has.
Yeah.
So like a while ago, you can disable that, maybe their sorcerer if you can disable that sorcerer, if you can disable that Sura as well, or that ranger in the lineup of Unlock coming from KFC.
Yep.
They could have done something better at that round. But
Yes.
yeah, that's it for round number one. But round number two, it might be a little bit different for these teams right here. So what our comments right here
Let's go.
has
Comment
said.
section. Let's go.
KFC is not spicy enough. But maybe round number 2 they will
Yeah,
add a
maybe,
little bit
yeah.
of spice right
Yeah, dude.
there, right?
Maybe round number 1 is like a test round.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is the first match, so I think everyone is kind of nervous. So maybe that's the test round for KFC. Let's see for round number 2. Maybe they're gonna show off those isolation, aggressive, go deep push coming from them. So let's see. Yeah.
Yes, just prepared to see what comes next. Maybe, you know, uh, KFC just is just getting ready, just cooking themselves right now to add a little bit of power for this squad right here. Anyway, let's move on to the game screen. As you can see, these teams have prepared themselves right now, and I think they're all set and ready to head on to round number 2.
Yep. Okay. So I think they're just trying to test out some damage here. And right now we're gonna go on the side of unlock this time. And yeah, and by the way, I think they need on the KFC side. I think they need to focus more on um, checking the Ranger for this round. Because the Ranger, if he's not getting contested on that one, that Ranger can do a lot of damage to those members on the side of KFC. So they need to have that on-point awareness on that Ranger.
Yes, well, they need to stop that ranger from dealing any more damage because again, that ranger can be very very dangerous, especially if you don't have, the right skill set to counter a ranger class.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the side of unlock, I think they're still going for that same lineup right here, the more aggressive lineup like we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And for the side of KFC. Ooh, it's now something interesting.
Oh.
Actually, for the lineup of KFC.
Oh, here we go.
As the round is going to start in a bit. Okay, let's go. And for the side of KFC, they're going to meet in the middle, actually.
Aggressive play.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
And
right
unlock.
now, yes, I think right now they're just putting like a heavy land protector on that one, and I think both sides is just poking around. They have a mechanic right now on the side of
Well,
KFC.
suicidal destruction coming from KFC will take down that Royal Guard, but KFC lost their Sura as well in the battle because of that arrow storm coming from that Ranger. But you can see both sides, I don't think, has that suicidal destruction up and running right now. But for unlock, they still have that Ranger and Sura to deal damage.
Oh,
and I'm
crucial.
worried about the side of KFC. They still have enough DPS to deal damage against unlock right here. Well, but oh yeah, or they
Whoa.
are not. Oh yeah, it was over.
Yeah.
I thought they were still running around.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
was thinking about there is still like 2 to 3 players left on the side of KFC.
I actually didn't see how they went down right there, but
Yeah.
ooh, maybe you got that on your end, LG.
Yeah, I
It
think
explains what
what I
happened, yeah.
got is like when KFC jumped on the side of Unlock, there's a good trade-off there. But the follow-up coming from Unlock, the Switchal Destruction, I think, connected right away. Then the moment that on KFC got scattered earlier, the Sura is on the work on picking off those players one by one.
Yes. And actually saw how the Sura of KFC went down. And the mechanic of KFC earlier was a little bit too aggressive, I can say. Just front slide, back slide, mostly
Yeah.
front slide though.
Yeah,
Mostly front slide happened at that time, just moving out and about, making sure to position himself in the right spot. But that suicidal destruction only landed on that Royal Guard of Unlock, taking him down. But unfortunately for Team KFC, that Royal Guard is a support class, so they can still get damage heavily by the DPS classes that Unlock has at that time. So while they managed to take down the Royal Guard of Unlock, their Sura just went in blindly. Even with that
Yes.
Numa, I think he misplaced that Numa to actually survive from that arrow storm or playing with very low HP at that time,
Yeah.
because he got eliminated by that arrow storm coming from unlock. So it did heavy damage to Team KFC right there. I actually didn't see what happened, but maybe that Suicidal Destruction or our Storm did something to Team KFC. But we'll check that out in the replay.
Yeah.
And MG, that was an interesting match. A quick change of lineup coming from KFC in the second round. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough to stop the aggression of Team Unlock. As Team Unlock won that first round or first match of the day.
Yes. Yeah, I really agree with you on the aggressiveness of that mechanic on the side of KFC. I think there is like a miscommunication on their side because again, the moment that Suicidal Destruction connected, there's no follow up. Basically, no follow up on their side. I think Unlock was really open for a few seconds, and I think they got really stunned about the aggression of that mechanic. But then again, no follow up coming from KFC, and that resulted into a failed push coming from KFC. And from that, Unlock managed to capitalize on the error, snowballed into their main team, and yeah, they got wiped out.
Yes. All right. So let's actually read some of the comments right here. GGH number one. We still have that. Oh, oh no. We have some people from GGL and GGH right here in the chat. Just make sure to cheer for your favorite team.
Yeah.
KFC got a little bit. Ooh. But yeah, I think Team KFC did their best at that time. They
Yeah, they did.
actually changed their lineup as well to try and deal with Unlock. But unfortunately, for Unlock, maybe they just had a bit of little bit of an advantage with that Ranger in the lineup.
Yes.
Sura and Ranger, and that mechanic as their opening, unit to start
Yes.
things off. But what happened was, again, earlier, it was KFC who opened the fight. Just front slide, back slide, suicidal destruction. Then everything went on from there.
Yes. That's
All
true.
right.
Oof. But again, a very interesting match. We are actually seeing a different type of strategy and other classes on the mixed up for the teams that we have here. So I'm kind of excited. What more classes can they bring and match with their composition with the core with the five core classes. So I'm pretty excited if we're gonna see like a Ranger RK maybe or Rune Knight. Maybe we can do that combo or something. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm pretty excited for season 2 and want to see more of those
Yes.
mixed classes.
Yes, and that's just the first round, MG. Coming up, who is going to be our next participants for the second match for tonight, MG?
Yes, it's gonna be Mad Royals from GGH and 4-Leaf Clover from GGL. Let's go.
Yes, okay. So we have that match coming up. But we are first going to take a little short break. When we come back, it's going to be match number 2. Mad Royals versus 4-Leaf Clover. So stick around and stay tuned. And we are back here at the Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. Once again, we are your casters. My name is James.
And my name is MG. Let's go!
Yes, let's go. And now, teams are ready. They're just preparing themselves for round or the first round of this match for now. So, who are the participants for this match number 2 again, MG?
Yes, for this match, we have Mad Royals from GGH and 4-Leaf Clover from GGL.
Yes, two new teams we have right here, or two teams with different names, actually.
Yes.
Yes, and yeah, Mad Royals. Mad Royals is an interesting one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, because it said right there in their introduction, they're a group of skilled warriors armed with guts and madness.
Yes.
Let's see what kind of madness they have in store for us for this upcoming match. And for 4-leaf clover, we all know the meaning of 4-leaf clover. It's like meaning of luck, right?
Yes.
Or if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it means faith, hope, love, and luck, basically.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
four
yeah.
leaf clover. So maybe they're aiming to be lucky this time around, but I'm pretty sure they're not. That's not the case, right?
Yes. Yes. For on the side of Mad Royals, I'm actually seeing a very good lineup. This is actually one of my favorite lineups
Ooh.
from season 1, and they're using it. So I think I'm gonna expect a lot of pressures here, like damage pressure, like on top of the enemies. So I'm really I think this is the madness that they're talking about on their description. The guts and madness
Yeah.
with heavy pressure. Yeah. So I think
Maybe can you repeat that again? Like
Yeah. Let's go.
yeah, we're waiting for that madness coming from the Mad
Yes.
Royals right here. But yeah, please do share our stream. This is the Ragnarok Asia Masters Season 2 or Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. And this is day number 1. And, number 1, or the match number 1 earlier had a lot of quick happenings. But I saw in the comment right here that Suicidal Destruction took down most of the KFC players, including the Archbishop. It was too it was too quick, but it was caught on camera. So maybe basically that's what happened right there, because I actually did see it though.
Yeah.
I actually did see it because a lot of things just happened, and there were really a lot of things to see at match number 1 or our previous match, right?
Yes. Okay. So I think
Yes.
we are on the waiting screen now.
Okay, and let's talk more about the lineup that you are anticipating, MG.
Yes. So let's go.
Alright.
Okay,
Ooh.
so on the side of Mad Royals, they have, of course, they have the 5 base classes. So they have the Minstrel, they have the Royal Guard, they have the Archbishop, they have the Sura, and they have the Sorcerer. And their 2 additional classes is gonna be the Warlock, plus
Ooh.
the Rune Knight. Heavy range pressure with a solo magical high impact damage. Ooh, on the side of
Well,
yes.
Yeah, depending on the build of that warlock,
Yeah.
warlock can cause some heavy firepower, or that warlock can be source of heavy DPS for the side of Mad Royals, or it can be a source of a crowd control because of that White Imprison, which can be cancelled by a status recovery, by the way. But if you actually time that White Imprison right, you can disable someone at the right moment.
Yes.
So yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting battle. But for the side of 4-leaf clover, of course the 5 base classes that you mentioned, plus that Rune Knight and Shadow Chaser. So kind of standard lineup we have right here for what they call this for team 4-leaf clover, and it's on a well-rounded lineup like what I mentioned in the match number 1, where team KFC had this kind of lineup. But yeah, let's go. This is a match number 2, round number 1. As you can see, 4-leaf Clover is going to be at the top of the hill. And while we are waiting for Mad Royals to actually push in, 4-Leaf Clover position themselves in a spot where, it's really hard to check on, their location and their positioning right now. And I think
Yes.
same goes for Mad Royals here, right here.
Yes, on the side of Mad Royals, I think they're doing the right thing here because since that they don't have that extra aggressive movement on their side, they're just actually sitting down on their spot, casting those Storm Gust and heavy pressure Dragon's Breath later coming from that Rune Knight. But again, I think they changed their mind. They're trying to approach now. They're scouting now on the south side of the map. But again, the movement on the side of Mad Royals are very slow. They just want to make sure that they are not gonna commit any errors on their movement here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a waiting game for 4-Leaf Clover. They are waiting for Mad Royals to approach them, like what you said. So whoever becomes the aggressive team right here might be able to take advantage of the match. But as what I've said earlier, 4-Leaf Clover already positioned themselves in a decent spot. So maybe they're just really waiting for their opponents or Mad Royals to just push in.
Yes, and I think the match for this one, the key class for this is gonna be the Sorcerer. The moment that the Sorcerer removed that Land Protector immediately on the side of Mad Royals, the moment that they countered the Land Protector or the Magnetic Earth of 4-Leaf Clover, they can actually punish 4-Leaf Clover right away. And right now they're trying.
Hold on to that thought, MG. As you can see, the Land Protector is actually connecting for a little bit right here, and there is a Storm Gust on the floor, on the middle of that Land Protector. Crazy Vines will get casted.
Here we go.
To remove that Land Protector or the Magnetic Earth on the floor, and again, Magnetic Earth will get casted. Dragon's Breath, 4-Leaf Clover moving in. Mad Royals are backing down. Sacrifice getting casted once against Suicide Destruction. No Suicide Destruction rather, but
the pressure there.
rather Gates of Hell from Mad Royals right here. But the 4-Leaf Clover sacrifice, what the Royal Guard of Mad Royals will get taken down. And as you can see, 4-Leaf Clover made their aggression into something beautiful right here as that Sura of Mad Royals is trying to run away. But Masquerade Ignorance will get casted on that Sura. Warlock will get taken down. And I think that's going to be it for Mad Royals as 4-Leaf Clover will take their aggression to the next level and win this round.
Yes.
I mentioned Suicidal Destruction earlier. It was sacrifice. It was sacrifice. I got too caught up in the moment with that Suicidal Destruction we had in match number 1.
Yes, that's true.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
That was a good match though. Coming from these two teams, I think they're trying to try to test the waters between who's gonna do the aggression or are they gonna be playing passive defensive style on their end. But I think 4-Leaf Clover gained that confidence that Mad Royals is trying to paddle back. I think the main goal on the side of Mad Royals is to paddle back on that spot where they got cornered and trade those range pressure. But apparently the Sorcerer didn't interrupted the Magnetic Earth on the side of 4-Leaf Clover, and 4-Leaf Clover managed to destroy the Magnetic Earth on the side of Mad Royals, and that caused a lot of status effects like the Frozen one or the Freeze on the side of Mad Royals, and they got punched really hard.
Yes, and actually, I believe the one who made the aggression first was 4-Leaf Clover because of that Crazy Vines just taking out that Magnetic Earth on the floor of Mad Royals earlier. And we haven't seen that much of the madness of Mad Royals yet. So maybe this is just their prep round. You can
test
say.
round. Maybe that's a test
Their
round.
test round. Yeah. See, it's their test round. Okay. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. But we're actually looking forward to the madness of Mad Royals on how they can utilize their lineup. But they haven't really utilized that much of their Warlock. Maybe because of that Shadow Chaser who just went in, just making sure to use those debuffs against their opponents for the side of 4-Leaf Clover. And that's why most of the members, I believe, of Mad Royals just got caught up in that brief moment where they got debuffed, or that Sura just went in, casting that Gates of Hell first. And although, just a damage was taken on the side of Four Leaf Clover, it wasn't really enough to take down the whole team. They still need to remember that Four Leaf Clover still has a lot of players left that can deal heavy firepower to
Yes.
their side.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree. And again, for me, if you're gonna play with a high range magic damage, like for example, you're gonna cast like maybe a level 10 Storm Gust on that one, and some like AoEs, you need to penetrate, or you need to destroy the magnetic earth first. The sorcerer is the key on that lineup on the side of Mad Royals. The moment that your sorcerer is gonna play passively, it's gonna be a game over for you. Your sorcerer needs to play aggressive. He needs to set the tempo for your team. He needs to destroy consistently that magnetic earth or land protector on your enemy side in order for you to land those heavy damages that your RK or your Runite skill plus the Warlock and even the Sorcerer. You can actually cast those AoEs as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and at that moment, while Four Leaf Clover was being aggressive, um, I saw in a brief moment that Mad Royals was a little bit caught up in the moment earlier. That Royal Guard of Mad Royals just casted that sacrifice in the middle of that stack.
Yeah.
So, Four Leaf Clover managed to take advantage of that situation, while that devotion was still not up, or devotion or sacrifice was still not up for the side of, um, for Mad Royals.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just taking advantage of the moment, made it beautiful for Four Leaf Clover to do something different, to turn their aggression into something. It turned their aggression into a moment they can win the whole battle. And this is not yet over for Mad
Oh,
Royals,
definitely.
since
Yeah.
we might see something different in the upcoming round number 2. But yeah, we might see a switch of a lineup coming from these teams. Let's see now, in if they can change things up for round number 2.
Yes. But I think on the side of Mad Royals, they know what adjustment that they need to do. They're actually running a very high aggressive tempo for the Warlock and the Runite. They should capitalize on that one. The Sorcerer needs to be aggressive as well. Because again, if your Runite is gonna be taken down by Four Leaf Clover, you still have the Warlock to dish out good damage on your side. So
Dish out good damage, or actually, disable a single person.
yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. But
And
yeah,
positioning is the key on this one. Because again, if you're gonna be caught on one corner, you need to rotate immediately. Right? You don't need to wait for like 5 seconds or 3 seconds, because on those seconds that you're gonna have, that's enough for your enemy to destroy your entire team. So they need to move fast.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, like what you said, positioning is key, especially for Mad Royals with that Warlock in their lineup.
Yes.
So maybe this time around in round number 2 they can switch things up. Be more aggressive.
Yeah.
Maybe here in round number 2 of this match. And for Four Leaf Clover, just continue what they're doing. Maybe their aggression can do something for them in round number 2 as well. Because earlier in round number 1, both teams were just try to wait it out for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And as Mad Royals was scouting with their Sura, Four Leaf Clover actually just caught onto that. So
Yes.
yeah, they made a different play in that situation.
Yes.
And yeah, still ready for round number 2. What do you think is going to happen right here, MG?
Okay. I think right now, I'm gonna go with Mad Royal. Think they know what to do. They just need a bit of adjustment. Sorcerer, definitely, we're gonna see an adjustment coming from the Sorcerer here on the side of Mad Royals. And for Four Leaf, they just need to be careful on that Sura, because that Sura can actually get punished right away earlier. But yeah, they just need to be careful on the Sura.
Yeah, and the Mad Royals need to take care of their Sura.
Yeah.
Mad Royals
Red
really need to
HP,
take care
let's
of their
go.
Sura.
Go deep, let's go.
But yeah, you are on the side of Four Leaf Clover right
Yes.
now, and I'm going to be following the side of Mad Royals. And yeah, has a lineup or had the lineup change in Four Leaf Clover.
Yep. They're still using the four or the five base classes, and right now, they still have that Rune Knight and let me just check the other one.
It's a
Rune
Shadow
Knight,
Chaser,
Shadow
right?
Chaser. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
yeah, it's still the same lineup for I believe Four Leaf Clover, and I think for Mad Royals, they're utilizing that Shadow Chaser and Warlock in their lineup right now. And of course, the five base classes that we did mention earlier, the five you can say required classes,
Required classes. Let's
required
go.
classes, but not really required because some teams will play without Asura. But yeah, they are the five base or core classes that you need in order for you to actually be victorious. But yeah,
Oh, a rush play.
yeah, I mean, Gates of Hell, Bloody Lust
Here
with
we
the
go.
cash on the floor, but no!
First circle. Let's go
Bloody
in.
Lust, he casted that Bloody Lust on the floor with that
Oh.
Land Protector, Magnetic Earth Seal on the ground. As you can see, Mad Royals are having
sustaining
a hard time.
now.
Soul Expansion will get casted right here as 4D Clover
Dragon's Breath.
is just taking that aggression to the next level. You can see that Rune Knight just slicing
Oh.
down the Mad Royals team right here. And 4D Clover will take down Mad Royals one by one and just making sure that no one is going to be left right here as Four Leaf Clover. A quick push, quick aggressiveness on their side, taking down Mad Royals right here. And because of that play, Four Leaf Clover will get the victory.
Wow, that is a really rush play coming from 4-Leaf Clover. Well, it's pretty understandable that 4-Leaf Clover doesn't want Mad Royals to react anymore. Like, they don't want, or they're not gonna allow Mad Royals to regroup and react, or regroup and plan things for their team. Because, again, they know their error on the first round. It's more on the aggressiveness of the Sorcerer. But 4-Leaf Clover recognized that and didn't allow the adjustment to happen on the side of Mad Royals. They destroyed it immediately. So good
Yes.
job on the side of 4-Leaf Clover.
Yeah, I wasn't even. Sorry about that. I wasn't even done talking, and they're already there on the side of Mad Royals.
Yeah, like
So-
few cells from the respawn point, right?
Yeah. They just push in quickly
gee,
right there.
Let's go.
And oh my goodness, it was a sight to see for Four Leaf Clover just taking that aggressiveness or taking that aggression to the next level. You can say it's going to be the next level play for
Yeah,
Four Leaf
yeah.
Clover right there. So a different kind of play for Four Leaf Clover, aggressiveness to the next level compared to how they did it in round number one. That's why Mad Royals got a little bit flustered in that round. As they were preparing themselves, they were preparing to actually, set things up in that round. They just got pushed
Yeah.
by Four Leaf Clover.
Yeah. Like I said, they don't want to have that counter initiation coming from Mad Royals, right? So they just go in with confidence, throw in skills, and finish the round. Plain and simple. A plain simple plan coming from 4-Leaf Clover, and it worked.
Yes. And my goodness, what a play though, coming from Four Leaf Clover. But for the side of Mad Royals, earlier I saw that Shadow Chaser actually casting that Bloody Lust. But I'm not sure where he casted that. Magnetic Earth was still on the floor. There was a gap, but it was not there. I
Yeah.
didn't see the animation of that Bloody Lust, so I'm not really sure where it got casted at that time. But yeah, a beautiful curse circle coming from Mad Royals, but unfortunately there was no follow-up coming from their side to take advantage of that curse circle. So yeah, it was very unfortunate for Mad Royals right there. They could have done something different, but yeah, it was a beautiful moment. Actually, that curse circle just
There's
really
the
disabling
exchange
the
of curse circle.
Four Leaf
Like,
Clover, yeah.
At one point, I thought that Mad Royals can actually turn things around, But basically, Four Leaf Clover knows what to do on those scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Like few players didn't got caught on that curse circle and managed to counter and punish several players
Mm-hmm.
in order for them not to fire back on that curse circle, and it worked. Yeah, yeah. The warlock there is, I'm not sure what happened to the warlock and the sorcerer, and maybe they just got surprised on that push. A really good surprise from Four Leaf Clover.
Actually, that Warlock of Madroel has really tried to cast that DPS or
Mhm.
soul expansion until he tries to take some of them down or some of their opponents down. But unfortunately, the damage was certainly not enough to take someone down from Four Leaf Clover.
Yeah.
It was just a quick battle because of the aggression that Four Leaf Clover just did in round number 2.
Yes.
Anyway, that's it for match number 2. Congratulations to 4D Clover for moving on to the next round of the tournament. Next matchup we have is MG.
Yes, our next match and our third match for this day is gonna be Dignity versus Amor Fati. Yes.
Yes, and Dignity. We actually saw Dignity in
Season 1.
season 1.
Yes.
Yes, and they were actually the team that
The first team, I think.
yeah, they were the team that didn't play without they're the team that played without Asura.
Yeah,
Rather.
true.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and let's see if they are still going to utilize that lineup. I believe their
Yeah.
emblem is the same. Yeah, I think it's the same. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe they're still the same guys, but we'll know in a bit later on if they're still going to utilize that same lineup or not. If they're still the same team, or they switch things up.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, what are you expecting from this next match, MG?
Well, speaking of Dignity, zoning is one of their like specialty during the season 1. They know how to range pressure. The ranger knows to position himself on a perfect spot wherein he can actually hit everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if these guys are using the same lineup, of course, zoning, spacing, that's what I'm expecting. The quick punish, if there is like one player or two players got out of position on that stack of the enemy, that's gonna be an easy pick off versus Dignity, right? But if
Yes.
they're gonna be using this a different lineup, maybe they might go for a standard lineup, maybe. But if they're
More of
using
a safe lineup,
yeah,
right?
safe lineup, but if their commander or shot caller is gonna be the same, definitely we're gonna expect a mix up of classes, like maybe
Well,
ranger again. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, these teams can surprise us, because they already experienced the battle
Yeah,
in
I know,
season
yeah.
1. But anyway, the next matchup is something to look forward to. It's going to be Dignity versus Amor Fati. And yeah, as the teams are getting set and ready, we'll be taking a short break. When we come back, it's going to be match number 3 of day 1 of Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. So stick around and stay tuned. And we are back here at the Ragnarok Asian Masters 2023 once again. We are your casters. My name is James.
And my name is MG. Let's go!
All right. Another set of introductions. Can you do this again, MG? It's like your hands just disappear.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Whew, okay. Let's calm ourselves down. Match number 2 was really an aggressive match coming from 4-leaf because of 4-leaf clover. What they did in match number 2. Let's see now for match number 3. This is going to be Dignity versus Amor Fati.
Yep.
And let's see if this is the same Dignity team that we had in season 1 of Ragnarok Asian Masters. And if that's the same team, they might be running again without Asura. Right? Because if that's still the same lineup, or they might have learned from their mistakes. Because again, Dignity, I believe if that's still the same team, they managed to win round number 1 of the tournament, but in round number 2 they were against Dominari in season 1. And they failed to actually move on to the next round after that one. So maybe because of that one, they managed to switch things up, change a few things for the lineup, change a few team members maybe, and let's see if that's still the same team that we're going to see in this season 2 of Ragnarok Asian Masters.
Oof. Yeah, but on the side of Dignity, I think you're gonna be surprised on what they're using right now. So I think this is gonna be a different Dignity. I think.
Actually, let's talk about that later on when we
yeah.
go to the preparation room. But yeah, for Amor Fati, actually, I kind of like that name, because Amor Fati, if you're going to translate that, it means love of fate.
Love of fate.
Love of fate. So maybe they're gonna let fate take place and try to get them to win this match.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe
it's going to be Love of Fate versus Dignity. Oh, that's going to be a good matchup.
That's gonna be good.
Okay. All right. So, brief introduction coming from the team of Amor Fati is the mission of their guild is to ensure all of its members can have fun playing Ragnarok. All right. So maybe they can have fun right here in Ragnarok Asian Masters 2023 as well, MG.
Yes, definitely. That's the main goal for this one. You need to, you need to have like a steady mood in playing for this tournament. Because again, if you're gonna be playing under pressure, it will affect your performance and execution. Definitely for your team. And yeah, I think that's the right mindset right now. Just have fun, play, and just stick with the plan, basically.
Have fun, play, and just do your right.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
All right, and okay, so let's talk about the lineups before we actually start the match. So what's on the side of Dignity right here, MG?
Yes, for the Dignity, they have the 5 base classes. But for their 2 random classes, it's gonna be a Rune Knight and Shadow Chaser. No Ranger for Dignity.
Yes. Okay. So that's kind of a different lineup compared to how we saw the Dignity team in season 1. Or maybe that's a different team right now, though. But for Amor Fati, they are going to rock with that Rune Knight and Warlock in the lineup. So maybe it can be a little bit different for them, but Amor Fati just waiting in place right now. What's happening with Dignity, MG?
Well, Dignity, I think they're just trying to sit out. The Sura is scouting on the north side and on the south side. I think they're just trying to test first. Their Shadow Chaser is actually moving on the north side. I think the Shadow Chaser is the scout for Dignity. This is actually good because if the Shadow Chaser can actually locate Amor Fati immediately, they can actually check on how to attack Amor Fati on a different direction.
Yes, as Amor Fati is trying to close in on Dignity right now. Amor Fati just waiting in place while moving very, very slowly. Rune Knight is first one checking. Dragon's Breath will get cast. Curse Circle.
Here we go.
On the side of Dignity. As you can see, members of Dignity will go down. Gates of Hell will come from the side of Dignity. And as you can see, Dispels will go off as well. But that Sorcerer of Amor Fati will get taken down while Dignity still has their DPS in play.
Oh,
Their
gets a spell.
Sorcerer is still managing to deal damage against Amor Fati right here. Amor Fati is just left with that
Oh.
Archbishop, but will get taken down by Dignity right here as Dignity just waited in place the aggression of Amor Fati. Beautiful Dragon's Breath plus Curse Circle play coming from their squad. But that wasn't really enough to take down the members of Dignity right here, as Dignity will get this round number 1.
Yes, that's actually a good effort coming from Dignity. The scouts. I think the moment that the Shadow Chaser got the information that they needed, they know immediately how to counter Amor Fati on that one. The positioning on the side of Dignity is on point. They know how to penetrate or attack the enemies. Plus the Shadow Chaser. The Shadow Chaser is just putting a lot of pressure on the entire back lane of Amor Fati, and Amor Fati cannot answer back on how to recover from that pressure coming from Dignity.
Yes, it was. I think it became a little bit hard for Amor Fati to deal most of the damage right there. But it was a beautiful execution coming from Amor Fati.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just Dragon's Breath plus that Curse Circle, and not really enough DPS to take down the members. Dispel went off.
Yes.
Okay, Dispel went off from the side of Amor Fati, just trying to dispel the members right there of what do you call this, Dignity.
Yeah.
But basically that's what happened. That Dispel actually made things worse a little bit for Amor Fati, because you could have casted a little bit more DPS to help out your squad in a way, right? But because of that, that push of Amor Fati lacked a little bit of damage. So that's why some members of Dignity really, or the members of Dignity didn't go down as planned.
Yeah.
And while they were casting that Dispel, the Sura of Dignity just came out of that Curse Circle, or came out from behind, and just taking down that Sorcerer immediately while the spell was being casted. So maybe removing that Land Protector, casting a bit more DPS or damage skills against Dignity would have made things work for Amor Fati. But Dignity really just played it a little bit safe. They just waited for the right moment, waited for members of Amor Fati to push into that specific choke point, taking down the members of Amor Fati one by one, and making sure they take that victory in round number 1.
Yes. And to be fair, on the side of Amor Fati, they have a good entry on the stack of Dignity earlier. It's just they're having a hard time on doing the pressure or the damage on the side of Dignity, what you mentioned earlier, right? So I think they just need to be careful on the second round, because again, most of the second rounds that we have is more on rush plays. I think the first matches that we have, first 2 matches, most of them are doing the full throttle or rush plays to end the game. So I think Amor Fati needs to be aware that that might be a strategy coming from Dignity, that they might get rushed on this one. So they need to prepare and move quickly on this one and react accordingly on that pressure.
Well, yeah, actually, Dignity just made sure to take that battle into their favor. Yeah, but again, that entry from Amor Fati was really a sight to see. Just that Dragon's Breath, that Rune just going in, dealing DPS immediately, even without that Sura in play yet.
Yeah.
So just casting that Dragon's Breath first, okay, just dealing DPS, just startling a Dignity right there. Then moving on with that Curse Circle from that Sura. And after that, Dispels will go off. But, DPS was lacking at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe just pushing out more firepower, for Amor Fati, and Dignity just staying in play. But we might see something different now for round number 2, as Dignity might surprise us in this upcoming round. They might go for a little bit of an aggressive play here in round number 2, or Amor Fati can be more aggressive this time, like just like what happened in match number 2 with
Yeah.
Four Leaf Clover and Mad Royals. Just pushing in, at the start of the round, just push in.
Yeah.
Just it's like a YOLO play.
Yep.
Just like let's just do it.
Yeah.
It's just like that, right?
Yeah. But again, I think on the side of Amor Fati, they need to commit. Like if one player is gonna commit on the damage, everyone should commit, right? I think they're too cautious about the damage that they're receiving versus the damage that they're actually dishing out to the enemies. So most of the members are kind of split up on that decision, right? So I think like you mentioned, the dispels as well. Instead of putting an aggressive pressure, that sorcerer opted out for a dispel, right? So I think Amor Fati needs to talk this out. If they want to push in, they need to push 100%. If they're gonna commit, they need to commit 100%, or else they're gonna crumble and it might lead to a 2-0 on the side of Dignity.
Yes, and oof, okay. Let's just get it ready for round number 2 in
Yeah,
this.
can't wait to be honest. I'm excited.
So from what I can see right here, actually no change in lineups, I believe, for the side of Dignity. And how about for the side of Amor Fati, MG?
For the side of Amor Fati, I think they're still rocking with the same lineup right now. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, no change in lineups right here for the two teams, but there might be a change in gameplay. And again, if you can become a little bit more aggressive, or wherever it takes, that aggression can be in the favor, in your team's favor or not. So it really just depends on um, how you utilize your lineup, how you utilize your team,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I think that's one of the good things of having a Shadow Chaser on your lineup. That Shadow Chaser can get the information that you need in order for you to counter the enemies, or counter your enemy on spot, right? Instead of sending like your Sura on foot on doing body relocs and scouting around. I mean, your Shadow Chaser can
Well, it's
actually
not
do
bad.
that. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not
right?
bad. But again,
It's not
if
a bad
there
thing to
is
do.
gonna be like a quick snatch maneuver coming from the enemy, I think Shadow Chaser is better because on Sura you can actually counter for a defensive curse circle versus letting your Shadow Chaser, stuck on your stack basically. So I think they maximized using the Shadow Chaser, and it worked. The pressure was there. At the moment that two teams hit each other, immediately the Shadow Chaser is the back, putting hard pressure, and he's not letting anyone to do their job properly. So yeah.
Yeah, it can really cause problems for the opposing team if
Yeah.
your team has a Shadow Chaser. But yeah, that's what Dignity is rocking with, Shadow Chaser and Rune Knight. A little bit more of a a well-rounded build.
Yeah.
And not really that aggressive compared to having like a Rune Knight and a Warlock in Amor Fati's side. You can be a bit more aggressive. You need to utilize that Warlock really well, especially with that damage it can deal. That's basically how you can try and take someone out. You need to utilize that Gates of Hell plus the skills that Warlock can deal against your opponents, maybe to a single target, just taking down one by one, and not really as a whole. Maybe just setting your targets right, that can cause wonders for
Yes.
Amor Fati. But here comes round number
Let's
2.
go!
Here we go. Dignity just pushing in from the middle right here. And what's happening with Amor Fati, MG?
Amor Fati, here we go. A rush pick coming
Oh.
from Dignity. Dignity right now is trying to push in and hitting the back lane. A quick Dragon's Breath coming from
circle on the
the
side of
back lane.
Dignity,
And
though.
right now, Dignity is trying to paddle back. Dignity is pushing for a quick victory here. And right now, Amor Fati is losing one member at the time. And they only have like two members right now. And the last one. And yeah, that's a quick rush play coming from Dignity.
Oh, and that Guillotine Fist plus Lex Eterna to finish it
Yes.
off as Dignity will be getting round number 2 as well.
The full throttle push coming from Dignity. This is the second time that we saw that strategy. Wow.
Yeah, actually, I didn't see a full throttle, but we'll check that out
Yeah.
on replay. But anyway, um, it was a good curse circle coming from Amor Fati, just disabling
Yeah.
Dignity once again. But what happened right there actually was kind of weird for me. Uh, instead of going for that Gates of Hell, that Sura opted for that Tiger Cannon. So it can be in your favor in a way, right? That Tiger Cannon can deal AoE damage against your opponents if you target it right, or it can deal massive damage depending on who your target is. So it can spread out. But yeah, it's kind of weird for me because they still opted for that AoE spread damage and just taking out the whole team instead of going one by one. So maybe because of that strategy, it didn't work out for Amor Fati. They just got outplayed by Dignity at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a beautiful play though, with that first circle just locking up the side of Dignity and Dignity just pushing in. Just really pushing in at the start of the match, just trying to find Amor Fati at that time and making sure to utilize the Dragon's Breath, just throwing those Dragon's Breath every time just to deal that AoE damage and startle up the lineup of Amor Fati. But yeah,
Yes.
that's it for match number 3 of
Yes.
of today.
Yes, that's actually a good match coming from those two guilds. And I agree that's a good curse circle coming from Amor Fati. The only thing that I can I wanna comment out on that one, the moment that that curse circle hit Dignity, sorry, the moment that curse circle hit Dignity, um the side of Amor Fati needs to move out because majority of the backlane players just stood there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the moment that they're actually just standing there, that's actually giving it's like giving a signal to Dignity, hey, we're open, you can actually hit us, something like that. So the moment that your team managed to secure a good curse circle, you need to reposition right away, because the moment that curse circle is out, expect that there's gonna be a counter initiation immediately coming from that opponent. So you need to
Yes.
move as much as you can. Try to buy some time, basically, because if you're gonna just stand there, it's gonna be a free kill. Especially if you're an Archbishop or Minstrel, you need to move as much as you can to create space and to drag those like Sura, for example, to drag those Suras away from the heat of the battle.
Yes. Well, a well-executed play coming from Dignity.
Yes.
Amor Fati just fell a little bit right there. Curse Circle, no follow-up. Maybe because of that Rune Knight just causing the startling up the team of Amor Fati earlier.
Yes.
But yeah, again, that was match number 3. It was really something to see. Amor Fati did their best, but unfortunately, their execution at that time really didn't. Uh, they didn't really execute it that well for Dignity to be, startled with their
Yes.
their preparation.
Exactly.
But yeah, next match is going to be MG.
It's gonna be Vengeance versus Integrate. Yeah.
Yes, two team names that we're unfamiliar with. But
Yes.
yeah, this is going to be something to see. That's going to be the last match for tonight. But before we head on to that match, as the teams are getting ready right now, we are going to take another short break. When we come back, it's going to be Vengeance versus Integrate. So stick around, stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we are back here at Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. And I think we're done introducing ourselves by this time, MG.
Yeah, we're done. We're done with that.
Okay. Do the peaceful again.
Yeah,
The
peace.
peace sign again. All right. Okay.
Go.
So your hand just
Yeah.
disappeared.
There you go.
But anyway, though, this is going to be match number 4. It's going to be between Vengeance and Integrate.
Integrate.
Yes. All right. So, this is going to be the last match for tonight. And what can you say about these teams, though, MG?
Well, I'm actually seeing a familiar logo on my side. Yeah. Again, I think Vengeance can actually do something here. Like. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah.
can do something here. Like literally do something. So yeah, I think this match is gonna be really interesting, and one of the matches that I really wanna see. So.
Oh, so this is the
yeah.
match that you're really looking forward to.
Yeah, actually, one of the matches. One of the matches actually. And
Yeah, so this is going to be quite an exciting match because again, this is going to be the last match for tonight. And this kind of, the matches that we had today kind of dictated the pace on how our matches on the following days of Ragnarok Asia Masters will go, right? Because they have something to see, they have something to anticipate on. They can review the clips, they can check how these teams are going to perform, right?
Yeah.
So or how to play proficiently in their matchup.
Yes, you're correct on that one. Again, you have the replays on the previous season 1, but definitely you want to surpass that that style or meta that's available on season 1. And as you can see on season 2, we are actually seeing super rush plays coming from our guilds, and at the same time a very patient and defensive style as well. So on the first matches, from our first and third matches for today, we are actually seeing a very defensive style strategy from them. And on the second round, that's the time that they're gonna go in and rush it. So yeah.
Yes. And this is going to be quite an interesting gameplay. And let's talk about the lineups right now, though, MG. For Integrate, I'm seeing more of a well-rounded lineup. Still the same, Rune Knight and Shadow Chaser as their wildcard classes for their strategy in this first round. So how about Vengeance?
Well, on the Vengeance, I think this is gonna be a mirror match. You mentioned like Rune Knight. They have a Rune Knight on the side of Integrate, right? So yes, on the side of Vengeance, they have a Shadow Chaser and a Rune Knight as well.
So it really all depends on the execution and their builds, on how they utilize their lineup for their victory in this round, right?
Yes.
But yeah, based on the set of lineup or the lineup that we have for both teams right here, the mirror match, you can say.
Yes.
I think whoever really takes that position first, we can possibly get the upper hand in this matchup that we have. But because they have that Rune Knight, if their Rune Knight can startle the opposing team, like what happened in the previous matches that we saw earlier,
Yeah.
it can cause really, it can be in the favor of either side, because again, they can actually take down that Rune Knight if they try to do so, and at the same time that Rune Knight can really startle their opponents, like that Archbishop or that Sorcerer cannot cast anything, or that Royal Guard cannot cast that recast that sacrifice to their teammates when they get dispelled.
Yes. But I think for me, the Shadow Chaser is gonna be the playmaker for this one. The moment that they clash in at the middle or on one Magnetic Earth or Land Protector, that's the time that the Shadow Chaser needs to play a big role for their team.
Yes, and here is round number one. This is going to be Vengeance versus Integrate. Integrate is going to be on the top of that hill while Vengeance is going to try and push in on the side of Integrate right here. You can see Rune Knight is going to be there on the front. Dragon's Breath will get
There we
casted on
go.
the side of Vengeance. On the side of Integrate, they will counter with another Dragon's Breath, but Crazy Vines will get casted on the side of the Vengeance right here. And you can see that Rune Knight is taking damage on the side of Vengeance right here. What
Here we go.
another Crazy Vines
Oh,
on the side of
one down.
Integrate. Gates of Hell will go down. Dragon's Breath, that Rune Knight is on the stack here of Vengeance, just startling the lineup or the stack there of Vengeance right here as Integrate will just try and push him. This wells will go off. Masquerades will go down as well, and full the investment on that Archbishop of Vengeance as Integrate will take that Archbishop down as Integrate taking down the members of Vengeance one by one. It was a slow-paced maneuver coming from Integrate, and that made the victory possible for their side.
Yes. Actually, that Sura went in, just cast that Gates of Hell immediately, taking down one player. I think he got caught off guard. And on the side of Vengeance, I understand why they're trying to not to stack up on that side, because again there's a potential of a curse circle since Integrate is on the high ground, so it's actually much easier to do a Badirello curse circle immediately there. So I think, but the downside on that one is the opening of single players. The players are very visible to snipe in. So I think that's a good recognition coming from Integrate on sniping and the same time on jumping with confidence, of course, on taking down that one player immediately.
Yes, actually in the start of that round we saw a Rune Knight battle. Dragon's Breath
Yeah.
after Dragon's Breath coming from both sides. But yeah, Vengeance actually casted that crazy weed on that magnetic earth of Integrate earlier.
Integrate, yeah.
But yeah, there was no follow-up or there was no bloody loss on that floor or any kind of follow-up coming from Vengeance with that play. So they kind of backed down a little bit and left that Rune Knight behind. While, Vengeance was trying to sort things out for a little bit. Integrate managed to utilize that Sura, just went in, Gates of Hell, taking down one. Who went down at that time, MG?
Yes. Hello?
No, who went down at that time?
I'm meaning the
On side
Archbishop,
of
yes.
Vengeance?
Sorry, the Archbishop.
Oh no, the Archbishop of Vengeance actually went down last because
Yes.
it
Oh,
got
no.
it got stripped.
Is
So
that the
I-
Shadow Chaser on the side of yeah, I
Maybe
think-
we'll check that out. We'll check
Yeah.
that out as we watch the replays for later on.
Yes.
But yeah, someone went down on the side of Vengeance, and maybe that became the
the
entry
opening
point.
yeah.
The opening of Integrate. That Rune Knight of Integrate just went in. He just went in without really
Hesitation,
any
no
support
hesitation.
coming
Yes.
from Integrate at that time. Just went in to startle things or to make sure Vengeance wasn't able to set things up once again, even with one member going down.
Yes. 'Cause
And yeah, basically that's the entry point of Integrate, and Vengeance didn't really had the chance to recuperate from that loss.
yes, I think Integrate recognized that, or the Sura of Integrate recognized that there's no way on the side of Vengeance that he can be contested on that push. That's why, like I said, Vengeance on that moment they're super spread out. They're actually trying to avoid the curse circle coming from the Sura on that one. But the Sura recognized that there is an opening and he cannot be contested by anyone on that one. You have the Land Protector up and running, so you cannot cast any spells on that, on AoE spell. So he just immediately, go deep there and cast Gates of Hell, if I'm not mistaken, and take that one player, and he moves out immediately, and that causes Vengeance to counter immediately. But apparently, the numbers is not enough. Integrate is still on the zone on how to protect their numbers. They know how to sustain and the same time and do offense as well. That's actually good. What's good about Integrate on that push?
Yes. Basically, I believe what Integrate did was they took their time
Yeah.
and they executed the right skills and the right strategy at the right time.
Yes.
So at the time where that Dragon's Breath actually hit, that Sura went in, Gates of Hell, go back out, Rune Knight of Integrate, substituting that Sura, just going in, started to mess things up for Vengeance.
Yeah.
And yeah, that became the downfall of Vengeance. But let's see now, here in round number 2, how Vengeance can, take things to a different level. Because, again, their name is Vengeance. You can say it's like revenge.
Revenge.
They
Yes.
want to take the hits first. Yeah?
Yeah.
They want to take the
I mean, you
hits
cannot
first.
revenge if there's no, if you didn't lose on any match. So maybe they're just giving out one match. Then okay, we're gonna get the last two matches.
Yeah, they're just building up their hatred, their vengeance against their opponents. So maybe that became the case here for Team Vengeance, and for Integrate. Of course, they're integrating their strategies, their mindset into the game, and making sure they execute things well on their side.
Yes, and I
So,
just
we're just making things up.
yeah, but again, yeah. But to be fair, for the players that we have here right now, I mean, it's not easy to play on this tournament because again, you're playing with one of the players who is very versatile and at the same time very knowledgeable when it comes to to the game and the classes as well. Right, so you have Vengeance, you have Integrate. They're actually showcasing a high level Ragnarok style Ragnarok metas here on our stream. So again, I'm very excited to our second match. I'm hoping that if there's gonna be a rush play coming from Integrate, Vengeance can counter it immediately. I'm hoping that will happen.
Well, let's see on how these teams will perform in round number 2 as Integrate, of course, is getting set and ready. Vengeance as well. They're casting their own buffs to make sure everything is all set. Who knows? We might see another aggressive play coming from these teams coming into round number 2. But we might not see that. So, they might play a little bit safe because, again, for Vengeance, they lost the first round. So maybe it's going to be different here in round number 2. They might play a little bit safe rather than going for that push they did, what they did in round number 1. But yeah, let's have a good show right here.
Yes. And I think they need to be they need to be cautious on this one because again they're fighting with Vengeance. Right, and I think Vengeance is kind of one of the OGs on the side of a GGH on this one, so they need to be careful because they can actually fire back immediately, knowing them. But yeah, let's go ahead and check. We're gonna see a rush play.
Okay, and the round has started. Vengeance versus Integrate, round number 2. And as you can see, Integrate will take the top of the hill once again. You can see some vacuums on the floor. Non-protectors or magnetic earth will get casted.
Here we go.
Magnetic earth will connect. Dragon's Breath on the side of Vengeance.
Oh!
First. And you can see
Here we go.
Dragon's Breath, Integrate taking a lot of damage here. Gates of Hell will land here.
They're losing players now.
The side of Vengeance, and Integrate is getting caught up with that Bloody Lust for a little bit right here, but that Magnetic Earth canceled that Bloody Lust on the floor as Integrate is getting damaged heavily here from Vengeance right here as that Shadow Chaser of Integrate trying to deal some debuffs against Vengeance right here. And they got scattered. Integrate is scattered right now. Exceed Break will try and deal damage against that Sorcerer of Vengeance as Integrate still not losing hope, just making sure to take things to a different level. Integrate still has a few members, 5 members to be exact on their side.
Here we go.
While Vengeance is still up and running, dealing damage to Integrate.
Yes, I think they have equal numbers here. They have equal DPS players here. on the side. So we are seeing actually a left and right exchange of Dragon's Breath here. Land Protector has been casted. And right now, Integrate is trying to chase down one of the players of Vengeance. Vengeance is trying to survive that. Archbishop is getting focused right now and getting a massive damage. But that Archbishop is down on the side of Vengeance. Vengeance right now is trying to survive. They don't have any support right now on their side. And right now, Integrate slaying one player at a time. And Vengeance is only left with two players right now. And Integrate is trying to figure out on how to finish this off. Dragon's Breath has been casting. I think he's just playing aggressively on this one. He's trying to 1v4 or 1v5 this one because one of their players on the side of Vengeance is frozen. Wow.
Yes. Well, they actually focused fire on that Sorcerer of Vengeance earlier. To make sure to try and take that down. Shadow Formation will get casted but will get taken down in the process. Rune Knight is the only one left standing for Vengeance right here. We still have 5 of the players of Integrate to try and take down that Rune Knight, in which they did successfully do so. And Integrate will take round number 2 as well.
Wow. That,
my goodness. Actually,
I told you, James. I told you that is one of the matches that they really want to see. Wow.
It was a good execution coming from Vengeance at the start of the match. At the start of that round, rather. And Vengeance, just tried to eliminate a few members from Integrate. Integrate just got scattered. But what happened was Vengeance failed to take care of their Sura.
Yeah.
That's why they had a hard time taking down the remaining members of Integrate.
Yeah.
And Integrate just made sure to target a single person in that remaining fight.
Yeah.
In that 5 versus 5 fight. So they tried to target a single player. Exceed break coming from that Royal Guard. And I'm not sure what's the follow-up kill or attack coming from that Royal Guard to try and take down that Sorcerer. But yeah, it was casted just trying to target that Sorcerer as that Sorcerer of Vengeance was running away. Of course, a magnetic earth in the floor to make sure they don't get caught up by any of those AoE spells that Sorcerer can deal or can push out. And yeah, that was a long fight coming from these two teams. It was a good game, well played coming from Vengeance and Integrate.
Yes, I think that is one of the best matches that we have for today. I think, and
it was
I think
a long one. It was a long one.
Yes, and I think Integrate has a better understanding on what's happening on the last 5v5 match. That they have on that last few minutes, right? Because they understand that there's no damage output that's going out on the side of Vengeance during that time. So they opted out. Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go all in damage. Royal Guard, you're gonna join us. Go and hit this one, right? No one is actually defending. They switched their tempo from a defensive stance to an offensive stance, because on the first part to the mid part, most of them are trying to survive the aggression on the side of Vengeance. We saw that, right? The moment that they went in, they created a massive spacing there for Vengeance, punishing one player at a time. The moment that Sura paddled back at the back, the Shadow Chaser on the side of Integrate immediately 1v1 the Sura. He doesn't he's just putting pressure, making sure that Sura is not doing anything to his teammates. So that's a good play coming from the Shadow Chaser, recognizing what's happening. And on the last part, they just go all in. They just trusted their instinct that, okay, we just go in, we just kill one by one, hit the supports first, hit this one, the next one, let's just finish it. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, and that is match number 4 of Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. And that is the match last for tonight. To summarize all of the winners that we had for the day 1 of Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. It was for the first match. The winner against the match between Unlock versus KFC was Unlock.
Yes.
For
And
match number 2, it was Mad Royals versus 4-Leaf Clover. And the
and
winner of that match is 4-Leaf Clover.
yep.
And how about game 3 and game number 4?
And
Match
game
number
3,
4.
we have Amor Fati and Dignity, and that's a 2-0 coming from Dignity. And for our last match earlier, Vengeance versus Integrate, that's a 2-0 coming from Integrate. So, GG well
Yes.
played to everyone.
Yes, it was a good set of matches. And yeah, our teams did their best, but the better one, of course, comes out on top.
Yes.
And yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. The next day or the next schedule for Ragnarok Asia Masters is going to be on the 22nd of March 2023. That's going to be on Wednesday. 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. GMT plus 8. So I'll be so we have another
Yeah.
set of matches
Yeah.
for that night, and it's going to be quite an interesting next or day number 2 of Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023.
Yes.
But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. It
Woo.
was
An
what did we
intense,
yeah.
an intense and hot matches.
Oh,
Yeah.
intense and the hot,
Hot
matches.
matches,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And yeah, once again, we are your casters for Ragnarok Asia Masters 2023. My name is James,
And my name is MG.
and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye, guys.